Having a great Wednesday. We're going to let the room fill up a little bit here. I need to set my timer. Hold on a second. Hopefully it doesn't shut me down here. There we go. Hopefully it reconnected. There we go. All right, got my timer set. We've got 33 minutes. We'll see who shows up. I'm going to give you about a minute for this room to fill up a little bit. You know what else? I need to send this out to people too as well. I think share and put that in the Discord. All right, I'm not exactly sure how badly that jacked everybody up, but good morning, my friends. Good to see you. We're going to knock this out. Hicktown Honey first, Jordan number 2, and Rose, you are deterred. Bradley, good morning. JB, good morning. I'm glad to see you guys are getting notified. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button so it lets the algorithm know we're not playing around in this 32 and 51 second, 32 minutes and 51 second live stream. We're going to wait for a few more people to show up here just so that they can get the full brunt. Catitude, good morning, young lady. Good morning. While we're waiting, obviously, PREPSTOCK, .net, get your tickets. It's funny, I keep seeing all these people who want to be part of the event now in some way, shape, or form. I actually got one who was does voiceovers for major commercials. She's like a celebrity voice in the voice industry or something. And I'm just thinking to myself, well, that's nice, but you just want me to pay you something. So yeah, anyway. Let's see here. Loretta Hatch, good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. Ian, good morning. Good morning. Hopefully you guys are all subscribed. Hopefully your YouTube subscriptions are notifying you of the things that need to be notified about. All right, so we got over 10 people in here. We're good to go. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. I only see 4, but that does not mean that that's the case. P. Titty says good morning. What's up? What's up, Core Pop? Make sure you subscribe, bro. I kind of like your attitude so far. All right, let's see here. Let me get a quick, just so we can get things right. All right, so no poll today because I'm on the road, and when I do polls and from a phone, the phone itself, I can't see the text right. Big Prepper, good morning. Cindy, good morning. Okay, so if you guys didn't know this whole yesterday I put out the video, I believe for the members, talking about the UN and what they were really meeting about. You know, everybody was talking about Uncle Joe's speech and how it basically said nothing, completely aligned with the left, and was very subtly anti-American. So if you were a member, then you got to see that video. If you are not, I don't know what to tell you. Nick, good to see you. If you're interested in becoming a member, there is a link in the description. I do recommend that you pick the middle one because it has the most benefits. All right, so the title of this actually came out of another source, and I'm trying to remember. I think it's like Retake the Net or something. And it was UN pushes for global control with new Pact digital IDs. With a new pact, digital IDs, censorship, and surveillance at the core. And I picked this because I can cover it in 30 minutes, and you know, it's actually packed with information. It's pretty good here, so we're going to knock this out. This was actually talked about last week. Someone else picked up what was being thrown down and started talking to people, but unfortunately nobody listens. So let me throw this out to you. So the United Nations Summit on the United Nations Summit of the Future 2024. That's the title. United Nations Summit of the Future. That's their title. Held ahead of this year's UN General Assembly, was revealed that the World Organization, I need to roll that up, that the World Organization is moving towards adding more initiatives to its existing and upcoming power grab portfolio. Not joking. Not joking. Andy, good to see you, bro. You need to spend more time over here. This time it's the Pact for the Future with the Global Digital Compact as an annex. So they just kind of added this up. If you guys don't know what an annex is, it's like an add-on to a document. The main component of the scheme is the action-oriented outcome, and those I'm using air quotes, document. The other being an international agreement, and the implementation of both, driven by the UN, is expected to start after the summit. Basically, they're using this summit, this gathering, as the starting point to start doing some things that we probably won't like. The summary of the purpose of the two deals is to put a positive spin and push for immediate and as wide as possible adoption of such controversial policies as censorship, quote fingers, disinformation, crackdown, surveillance, and so-called digital public infrastructure, also known as DPI. That's something that is being talked about even in large corporate businesses. DPI, with digital IDs as the component. Oh no, not that. Digital IDs, those sons of bitches. Viking Queen, good morning, young lady. Good to see you. There is also the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, also known as SDGs. These are what are hidden in Agenda 2024 and Agenda, I'm sorry, what was it? It was Agenda 2020, and then they changed it to Agenda 2030. And itself is agenda endorsing by major countries that, among other things, look to use to usher in digital IDs as well as new tools and justifications for censorship. Digital Global Compact and the Declaration of Future Generations are a part of the part of the Pact for the Future, whose adoption concludes several years in the negotiations between countries and various stakeholders. So this is all about, I hate to say it, guys, but this is all about power. Nothing more, nothing less, not for a kinder, gentler world, but for power. You know, there's a lot to be said. You've heard truth to power. I want you to think about the terms will to power, and you might want to look them up and educate yourself as to, I can't believe I said that. Educate yourself as to what that means. Will to power. And whatever your scribbling name there is I can't read it, but I kind of like it, and I'm going to remember you. Make sure you subscribe, dude. What am I supposed to call you? Because I can't read that scribble on my phone, and I want to address you. Let's see. I have a message held for review. JB, what did you do? Let's see. Militarist, something. Ride along. Gotcha, bro. I'll try and remember that. I don't know what the militarist put here, these emojis, but I don't see any problem with them. All right, we're gonna hit show on that. Show another. Okay, so it should be there. This thing's potentially inappropriate message held. Got it. I know what it means, you stupid machine. I got it. YouTube's doing this crap again. Don't worry about it. It should be visible now. So show. Okay. Middle finger to the UN. I got you, militarist. Yeah, I mean, the UN is useless. And honestly, if Captain Red Tie becomes the president again, the UN is probably going to go away. He'll be like, I'm pulling your leash. Get the hell out of town. We're done with this. All right, so moving forward, we got to sip some coffee. Oddly enough, I don't feel that thing building that is super duper crazy. Hey, Ian, good morning. Those who pushed for the document to be adopted, both among politicians and the media, say it is the most significant of its kind in decades, and a necessary adjustment of the old rules to what is all but referred to as the New World Order. I can't wait to see that flag on this thing. New World Order. New World Order. Hey, everybody's... What NWO. Everybody type NWO in the chat. I want to see if YouTube will put a flag on this video. Let's see here. The actual quote from the we're here. Adjustment from the old rules. The actual quote from the president of the UN General Assembly is that this quote lays the foundation for a sustainable, just, and peaceful global order. Just insane. It ranges from peace and security, climate, financing for development, and sustainable development to digital corporation. digital cooperation, as well as a human rights and gender, and supposedly more meaningful opportunities for young people as far as a decision making is concerned. Whenever they target young people in a speech, it means that people in general don't agree, and we have to try and sway these possible young voters to think the way we want them to think. Yeah, idiots. Hey Jim, good to see you, bro. Make sure you subscribe. I love all these new names, man. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool because it's like, hey, it's, most people get like a crazy name or something, right? But he's like, Jim. I love it. I remember, yeah, I know, right? Well, before that, it was WWF, and then it was WWE, and I mean, crazy. All right, so where are we at here? We did all that. A pact is divided. The pact is divided into 5 segments and 2 annexes. Those annexes are Global Digital Compact and Declaration on Future Generations. And a total of 56 points were referred to as actions, which means they're going to do it, or that's the plan. You sign off, we're going to do it. And that way they can come back and say, well, we told you we were going to do it. All right, one of the key ones is Action 1, which speaks about accelerating steps towards the universal and far-reaching 2030 agenda while achieving sustainable development goals and leaving no one behind, air quotes, leaving no one behind, air quotes. Action 4 is dedicated to financing the Sustainable Development's goals and how to close the gap in developing countries. Basically, money, how they want to use all the people who have money, which would be the big countries. They want to use their money to use that money in the small countries that don't have the money. Do me a favor, guys. Type 1 in the chat. Obviously, if you love your country, I want you to do that now because it looks like the chat is frozen, and that means that YouTube is not happy with us. So, oh well. We're not doing anything wrong today, YouTube. Let them know. Let them know. With Action 8, countries' signatories come to gender equity and the empowerment of all women and girls, again, as a key point of SDG. So once again, equity, women, girls, targeting people who think for some reason they're weaker or less, so that you can try and empower them with words that will do nothing for them in the future. That's what it means. That's what it means. Thanks for waking up the chat, guys. I appreciate it. Action number 12 is another dedicated to finding the most efficient ways, quote, turbocharge the full implementation to push the SDGs and manage to do that by 2023. Wait a minute. What year is it? Yeah, that's a problem. And the consequences of which will naturally continue in the years beyond. 14 actions fall under the International Peace and Security segment of the document, where the UN reaffirms its actual role and reason for existing. So, like I was trying to tell you, or actually I did tell you, hopefully you were listening, basically the UN doesn't really have a job anymore. They don't have a purpose anymore. Very much like NATO, unfortunately, which I believe does have kind of a purpose. But the UN basically has they have no authority over anything unless they can get countries or signatories to sign over control of things to them. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. But here's the thing. Once something like that happens, those countries signing over have to feel so, not usurped, but they have to feel so weak that, well, we signed, so we have to do it, and give up their sovereignty. That's what this is really talking about. The UN has this document, in this series of documents, that they want countries to sign to give away their sovereignty. That's what this is really all about. Because once those documents are signed and the country agrees and will actually follow those actions, then that country has given up its sovereignty. Now, that's a serious problem. Now, thank God, if you're religious, thank God, thank Noah, Jehovah, whoever it is you believe in, thank that deity that America has the first that is protected by the second. It is that easy. Can I get an amen? It is really, really that easy. And guys, if you know this, if you know I'm not religious, but I can speak that way because I know other people are, and I respect that. Now, if we didn't have that, they tried to do this. They tried to do this several years back with the Small Arms Initiative, where they actually got countries. The United States actually signed it. It was a joke. And the way it was worded, it basically forced the entire world to give up everything that wasn't military, that wasn't like M16, M203, M40, 249. You know what I'm saying? They tried to give up everything that was be considered small arms, as long as if it wasn't actually used by the military. All right. And it didn't work because we're like, oh, by the way, we're not giving up our sovereignty. You can't have our guns. Go away now. And they fluffered themselves away. The UN has no power whatsoever. The UN only has authority that other countries have given it. That's it. That's why if you ever watch the UN Security Council meetings and they take a vote and they say, it could be an atrocity. It could be a massacre. Say 1,000 people were just set on fire in, Kerblakistan, right? And by the way, that's actually a joke place. It's not a real place. And it has nothing to do with the color either. It's like from an Austin Power movies or something, right? That. But let's say that there's 1,000 people get set on fire in Kerblakistan. The UN Security Council meets, says this is an atrocity. We must do something about it. And 30 members vote to say, yes, go get them. And the 31st vote says, no, it doesn't happen then. That's how little power the United Nations actually has. So it's actually pretty simple. We just have to basically say, be aware, like we're talking about now, and then make the people above us understand that we will not support any actions like that. And then if they ignore us, then we will support actions to remove them, normally with a vote, but if necessary, using our Second Amendment right. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to sip a cup of coffee. Puff Daddy, baby. Look, I don't have time to tell if you guys are trolls, okay? All I can say is be nice. You are funny from what I've seen so far. Oh, by the way, while I'm telling you this, if any of you are interested in being what do they call it? What are the hall monitors called here in YouTube? If you're interested in being that and you know how to contact me, and there's lots of different ways. Contact me, we'll have a conversation, because I realize as this channel grows, and it has grown much faster this last month than it's ever grown before, okay? Someone kick out Diddy. Moderator, thank you, Cuck. Thank you. Appreciate it. And oh, by the way, if you guys don't know, it's Cuck V. Okay, Cuck V is actually an old military vehicle. Good morning, Star Canada. Yeah, if you want to be a moderator, contact me. And, obviously I would want you to be a moderator during the live stream, so you'd have to be available, not like at work or listening, that kind of thing. So just use logic, and if you think that you can do it, contact me, and I will talk to you about it, and we'll get you going. Good morning, young lady. Let's see. My baby oil ain't in jeans. All right, Puff Daddy, pay attention. Maybe you're going to learn something here today, okay? Can I? All right, let's see here. Let's see. You know what? I haven't said this in a long time. I have not said this in a long time. That's not it. Time to change your screen. Those of you that are in the know, I don't, it's hard to do from here. It's not the same. Boop. There we go. All right, so hopefully that will solve some problems. They're called knights that say knee. The Knights of Knee. No, how did it go? The Knights of Knee. I can't remember, but yeah, that was, we are the Knights of Knee. Okay, so let's go ahead and carry on here. So, Ream's actual role. So the 14 actions fall under the International Peace and Security segment of the document, where the UN reaffirms its actual role and reason for existing. This covers issues such as building peace, protecting civilians, and moving toward a nuclear weapons-free world. All really good things wrapped up in a shit sandwich. Excuse my French, YouTube. Let's see here. In the last draft, Action 28, which is in the Science, Technology, Innovation, and Digital Cooperation category, it reads that the signatories will address the potential risks and seize the opportunities associated with new and emerging technology, aka CBDC and digital ID. In the adopted document, the action states we will seize the opportunity presented by science, technology, and innovation for the benefit of people and the planet. It then adds that those implementing the pact will promote, quote, ethical and responsible, end quote, use of science, technology, and innovation. Science and technology equal power, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. We all know this. Let's see here. Gotcha. The Global Digital Compact goes into the details of combating disinformation. Under digital trust and safety, this annexes to the Pact speaks about the need for signatories to urgently counter things considered disinformation, misinformation, hate speech, and cyberbullying. You know, bullies make kids strong. You know that, right? Anyway, while child sexual exploitation is thrown into the same sentence. They're gobbledygooking things together to try and make it sound more palpable or palatable. The annex further talks about the information integrity, where that and tolerance and respect will be promoted in the digital space, which will unavoidably and or declaratively be inclusive, open, safe, and secure. Interesting. While a lot of the document might read like a big compilation of usual platitudes associated mostly with liberal policies, it does provide a formal platform for nation states of various persuasions. They put persuasions in quotes, including authoritarian ones, to mold the pact to suit their purposes, impose new policies, and enforce new or more rules. So basically, the idea is that you sign the compact, you give them the power, and then somehow that document now gives you power as a tyrant or dictator to do what you want in your country. Isn't that special? Isn't that just, it's all words, it's paper, guys, it's paper. How did paper have power over people? How the hell did that happen? How did we let that happen? One of the urgent measures that the Global Digital Compact calls for and commits to, commits is found under the information integrity, and wants social media platforms to provide researchers with access to data, and the obligatory mention of hazy safeguards for user privacy. The purpose of providing this data would be to ensure transparency and accountability, to build an evidence base on how to address information and disinformation and hate speech that can inform government and industrial policies, standards, and best practices. So basically, they want to put up the kiddie rails on the internet so that they can determine, they can tell you that what you're saying is wrong. Nice, nice. Burn the paper. Good fire starter. There you go. Okay, so we still have 8 minutes and 50 seconds left on this live stream. Is there anything that you guys want to comment or talk about? That would be super duper. While you're putting something in the chat, I don't know what is. I'm going to sip a little coffee. If you have not, if you are a Patreon and have not watched the video about explaining the transfer from Patreon to YouTube memberships, please take a moment after this video and go watch that video. It is both on the Patreon as well as in the members area of, or the Patreon channel on the Discord. Let's see here. Bradley says, wow, missed the whole show because I had to pause. I'll catch up. Yeah. Yes, sir, you will. You're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to go do that. But anyway, cutting back on coffee, more tea for me. What? Why? Coffee's better for you. Tea has more caffeine than coffee does. Oddly enough, cocoa has more caffeine than both of them. All right, put something in the chat. Hurry up. TikTok, 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 TikTok. It sounds like I need to cut back on the coffee. That's what it sounds like. But the stream's going well. I'm happy with what I'm seeing. And yes, you complete me. You complete me. I will tell you that it's very logical that once Captain Red Tie gets into office, that the UN will be done for, and it's clear by their actions. And this document, which was actually, they've been working on it for years, but it kind of got rushed, is what I was told. The UN will have like zero power. They'll have like nothing. If he gets taken over, if he takes over. Yes, coffee is delicious. I've been currently mixing different brands, but the magical brand to always mix with your coffee is the Dunkin' Donuts regular. Yeah, that takes away any of the crazy bitter or any of the weird flavors from the cheaper coffees. What I've been able to do is I'll normally do like half a bag of the $10 coffee, and then half a bag of the Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and yeah, it tastes like a bag of Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Caffeine and no effect. Caffeine has no effect on you. That's interesting. That's interesting. Eat the donuts, drink the coffee. Got to cut back on the donuts. You got to cut back on the donuts. Things are getting a little beefy. I need to slim down. I need to get to my winter fighting weight. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's 5 minutes left on this live stream, but you know, it's I think that there's no reason to keep it going if there's nothing to talk about. A small pinch of salt will help with the acid bitter. Yes, true. Yes, true. Is bypassing the First Amendment, the internet, the new Second Amendment overall? Is bypassing the First Amendment on the internet the new Second Amendment all over again? I'm not sure. I don't think I'm gathering your wordplay. I think we need more context. But you did remind me of something. You can have the donut, but it'll take the pot of coffee. Don't count on any politician having the power or means to change the system that is already obeyed by many. The control goes deeper than you realize. No, I completely realize it. I completely realize. You keep forgetting, Big Prepper. I worked for the government for 33 years. I know how deep and dark and ugly and ridiculous it is, and they love their systems. And that's the big problem. No one in government at any level other than at the very bottom are willing to change the system, because it requires them to, so you get some guy middle management in the government, and he's like, hey, I see a huge problem here and I can prove it. Here's all the facts. I mean, this guy does like a freaking study. You know what I'm saying? He's dedicating his vacation time, his weekends off, all that, to writing this paper, telling people how bad the situation is, and here is the corrective action to fix it. He sends it up the chain of command. If the guy above him likes it, he sends it to the next guy for review, but not action. In this world, we all have bosses. Someone is our boss. Unless you're like me, I don't have a boss. Anywho, if you work for the government, you have a boss. And that boss at some point will be like, well, this is a great idea, but I don't think anything will come from it. When he says that, that means he did not hit the forward button on his email. That means he told nobody about your idea. Because he knows he doesn't want to make waves. And that's the problem with our government. It happens at every level except for the bottom. Because at the bottom, they see all the problems. And they tell the people above them what the problems are. And then the people above them don't want to make waves. That's the way our government works. So I honestly think that if Captain Red Tie is able to pull it off again, that we're going to see some dramatic changes. We may even see a national emergency declared just so that he can use specific powers that he has under emergency authorities to scrape the goo off our shoes, you know, because that's what these people are. I only say you don't fully realize because you have not started digging into the, I don't care about that, Big Prepper. I don't care about that. You know, we have alliances with people that support our agendas. It's that easy. That's what that comes down to. There's no deep, dark secret to it. They support us, we support them because they support us. It's that easy. There's a group of people here in the United States that won't even let you talk sideways about their beliefs because someone tried to put them in a fucking oven. Excuse my French. And they never forget that. And rightfully so. Until you do care. Oh, well, no, I care. I care. I've been to these places, my friend. I've seen exactly what you're talking about. Also, typing is hard. Brain runs faster than fingers. Sorry. Yeah, sometimes that happens. I can't stand typing on a phone. The buttons are just too small, and it's like, you know, it's like you're my brain has been trained to hit keys, not little bitty spots on a screen. So all right, so it looks like there's about a minute left on the live stream, guys. I want to thank you all that are still here for hanging out with me and hearing me talk trash about the UN. Hopefully I've brought some information to you. Also, you might want to be looking up the 28th Amendment, which will never happen. But it's interesting to see that the lefties think they might have a shot with it. Let's see. If you're not a member, make sure that you try and join that up. If you're on your phone, look for that blue highlighted text that says more, and then scroll all the way to the bottom and find join, and then pick a selection, because more videos get made every day other than this one that you don't get to see unless you're a member. 17 seconds. I think that's going to be it. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the way out the door. And as usual, stay safe. Have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you. For those of you on the YouTube members or Patreon side, I shall see you in the Discord. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.